Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and I have had quite a few people that have messaged me and asked could I show how to make the little scrolls that I make to put in the mini albums and journals that I do. Now, there's nothing earth-shattering about these. I just basically find what material I want to use and roll it up, and I do a little bit of crushing and inking and things like that, but I like using these on the covers of my mini albums, inside my mini albums. Now my favorite material to make these out of is just vellum. And I like the printed vellum. If you don't have any printed vellum, you can just take your vellum and stamp on it, and that will work the same. So I tear all around all the edges, and then I like to ink mine first, and I ink it real rough and rugged looking. This is supposed to be like an old scroll, so you need to just print it up really rough, or ink it up really rough. And then I use just a piece of old wood skewer. Anything small, it needs to be tiny. And then you just start rolling at the end. And you want to roll until that catches underneath that skewer, and then you can start rolling it up. And don't worry about it if it goes a little bit crooked. That just adds to. So see, that one is a little crooked there, but I like that part. And excuse the background noise, but I'm going to go ahead and do this video. My husband is working on his tractor, so we've got a little bit of background noise going out there. He's trying to blow it off and do some different things with the air compressor, so that makes quite a bit of noise. Now once I get it like this, I put just a little bit of glue under there to hold it for a second, and then I squish it one way, and I ink where I squished on those little edges, and then I squish it the other way. You know, this needs to look rough and rugged and old. And then I just kind of form it back up into that circle-like thing. And excuse my fingers, they've got ink all over them. Alright, once you do that, what you want to do is just take some string, and I use this really tiny hemp. It's real little. I use that, and I just start rolling a few rolls right around the center. I just do about 3. And then I just cut it off where I can tie a knot in that. I usually tie a double knot if I can. Then I kind of move all those little things to the center of it, and then I trim these off pretty short like that. Then again, I take my ink and I go on top of that thread because it needs to look old and worn too. And there is your little scroll. So there's just some that fold all the way up. Now I have done some that don't fold all the way up, so let's try one of those. Now this is just a piece. Let's see. Let's use a different color. I am out of my regular coffee dyed pages, so I need to dye some more. But for now, we're just going to use this one. This one looks kind of rugged. Now I'm just going to tear off that bottom right there, because I actually had that torn. I'm going to tear off up here. Now I'm going to probably stamp a little bit on this on the inside, just something at random. This stamp right here will work well, and it is a Stampers Anonymous, and I don't know what the name of it is. Here's the barcode. I can hold that up maybe where you can see it. But it's just got, it's like a newspaper print, and that may be what it's called, newspaper print. But it's just got a lot of different newspaper articles and things like that on it. If I can find one, I'll link it below. But I'm going to take this. I'm going to use my black Okay, I'm going to use my black memento, and I'm just going to ink this up a little bit. And let's see, I need to put something under this. Okay, so that's what we've got right there. I just stamped random. You don't stamp it to where you can read it. You don't want anybody to read it. Just random. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to start rolling at the bottom. Okay, and I just press it and roll it back and forth a few times so that it will stay rolled up. And then I start rolling at the top. And there is a cute little scroll that you can put in your book, your journal. Now I'm going to go ahead and ink all of these edges up really well. You could have done this before you rolled it up if you want. I like to just kind of roll it and then ink. Now if you want these to stay nice and tight at the top and the bottom, you can put just a little dot of glue under there. So I think that's what I'll do right there. Hold that down for a second, and then we're going to put a little dot right here and hold that down for a second. Now I like to again squish this, and I put a little ink there, and then I squish it the other way. Make it look like it has been, folded a few times and unfolded and just kind of rough. Look at that. Isn't that neat? I like that. Okay, and then now I like to also tear a little piece on the side like that. And you can just tear just a little bit. And then I just take my finger and I roll that up. And then you want to kind of ink in there. Make sure that looks old and worn like that. So there is that scroll. Now let me show you what I also do a lot of times. I take my hemp, and this is just a very thin hemp. Run it through there. And then you just want to run enough up here at the top that you can tie it. So then I just run this up until I can tie a little knot in here. Alright, so there is our little scroll finished up. Let's do another. Let's do one with this paper. This is just a shiny, this one that I sprayed with some, I think some watercolor, metallic watercolor maybe. And I like the edges torn. Okay. Then we are going to use our stamp again. Alright, stamp. There we go, that's good enough. You just want a little stamping in the middle. Alright, and then take your skewer and do just like you did on the other one. I take it and I start rolling. I make sure that it's caught under there. And I just roll it up a little ways, and I roll it back and forth until that paper kind of conforms to that. And then I do the other end. And I roll it. And here we go. Just kind of roll it until it conforms to it. Alright, when I get that rolled up where I want, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue under there. Press that down and hold it for a second. And then I'll do the same way on the other end. Little bit of glue. Just enough to hold it. It doesn't have to hold it forever. Just enough to hold it for a little while. I like for the rolls to stay nice and tight. So that's why I put a little glue there. Okay, then again we're going to ink, but I'm going to go ahead and just tear a little place on the side of this. Okay, now we're going to do some inking. And on this paper I'm probably going to do quite a bit of inking because this actually looks kind of new since it's not really that coffee dyed paper. So again, I'm kind of squishing those one way than the other. Putting quite a bit of ink right on the edge and even crumpling it a little bit, that's fine. The more rugged it looks, the more real it looks. And then I'm going to squish that one way and then squish it another. That just kind of leaves a little fold there that you can ink up that makes it look, I don't know, it just makes it look a lot more real to me. Now I'm going to take my tool and I'm just going to go over this and ink this inside up some because I definitely don't want that shining, that paper shining. I want it to look old. And you can do the back part too if you want. I'm not going to do the back because this will be glued down in my album. So there is another scroll right there. And let's put a little piece of hemp in there. And I just use this because it's easier to get through here because it's kind of stiff. But you could use just regular thread if you wanted to. Doesn't really matter. And then again, you can just tie it. And you can use this just about anywhere in your journals. There you go. So there is another scroll. So that is it. I mean, that's just how easy it is to make these scrolls. Let's just make a little one out of this, like these. So let's tear this about down through there. So this is already printed, so this will be easy. All we'll have to do is do some inking. I'm going to tear. You wouldn't really have to tear the ends. I'm just so used to tearing the ends. I go ahead and do that anyway, but they're going to be rolled up, so you really don't have to tear the ends. Okay, now before I roll my vellum, which looks like this in the beginning, I'm just going to do some inking on it because you don't want your vellum to look so new. You want it to be aged. Then we're just going to put our little skewer in there and start rolling. So here is the vellum one. Sorry, our video cut out just for a second there. So there is the vellum one. It's done the same way as the paper ones. And I just inked it up a little bit and put the string on there. So that is it. There are our little scrolls. Quick and easy and a very cute embellishment. Alright guys, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell if you want to be notified when we put up new videos. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.